Hello guys, we want to solve these Waec questions, and for those that are also interested in understanding some basic mathematics questions. Now, this one says what? Number one says 4 raised by 2x minus 3 equal to 1 over 64. Option A says, it says find x. Option A says 0, B 1, C minus 1, and D says minus 2. Let's solve. You said what? 4 raised to power what? 2x minus 3 equal to 164. Now, what I will advise us to do is to what? Is to convert this particular right hand side to what? To the same base with the left hand side. So this one will be 4 raised power, let's say 1 over 4 raised power 3. Don't forget 4 raised power 3 is same as 64. 4 times 4 is what? 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So we can write it as 4 raised power 2x minus 3 is equal to 4 raised power minus 3. Don't forget that 1 over a raised power n is same as a raised power minus n. Indices, you did that one in the SS1 symmetry chapter break. Now comparing the power, since their base are the same, you are going to have 2x minus 3 equals to minus 3. So what do? You collect like terms. So this minus 3, let it cross the river. As you cross, it becomes plus 2, plus 3. Okay, minus plus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 will be 0. So we have 2x equal to 0. Dividing both sides by 2. So s will give us what? 0. So option A is the answer to the question. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 quickly. Let's move to number 2. Number 2 says that what? Find the value of r if what? 3r2 to be 6 is equal to 140. 3r to be 2 to 3r2 to be 6 equal to 140 to be 10. A 4, B 5, C 2, and D 3. Now 3r2 in base 6 to equal to what? 140 in base 10. So we should find what? R. Now what I want to do is to convert the left hand side to base 10 by multiplying individual number in that particular word left hand side by base 6. Then you now what? 0, 1, 2. So this is 140. What do we have now? This one will give us 36. 36 times 3. 36 times 3 will give us what? 18108 plus what? Then this one will give us what? 6r plus what? Anything raised by 0 is 1. 6 raised by 0 is 1. So 2 times 1 is what? 2. Equal to 140 in base 10 already. So this one will give us what? 110 plus what? 6r equal to what? 140. Now how do we make what? The r subject to formula. Take 110 to the other side. We have 140, or let's say 6r. So as it crosses this river, it becomes what? It's plus 110 here. When it crosses, it becomes minus 110. So 140 minus 110. What do we have? We are going to have 30. 140 minus 36r. Divide both sides by 6 to make r stay alone. So I will have this one where eliminate this. R becomes what? 5. So option A says 4, B says 5. So I will go with 5. So option B is what? The answer to the question. Now let's move to number 3. It says that what? X plus y equal to 4, comma, x squared minus y squared equal to 12. So find the value of x and y respectively. Now what I will advise you to do, first of all, let's write our equation out equal to 4 and x squared minus y squared equal to what? 12. Now, what I would say you do, this is the basically difference of 2 squared. So x squared minus y squared, it can be written as x plus y, then x minus y equal to 12. So what I want to do is to substitute 4 here. So what do we have? We would have 4 because x plus y, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So option A says what? 3 A is equal to 3 whole number 1 over 2, comma, minus 1 over 2. B says 3 whole number 1 over 2, comma, 1 over 2. C says 3 whole number 1 over 2, comma, okay, that one is minus 3 whole number 1 over 2, what, comma, 1 over 2. Option D says 1 over 2, comma, minus 3 whole number 1 over 2. So what we're going to do is to what? Place a value here. That means this one, the x plus y, let's place there. So what I'm going to have now is what? S minus y equal to 12. If I go start by 4, so s minus y equal to what? 3. Let's call this one equation 3. Now, can we add equation 1 and 2 together? Equation 1 and 3 together. If we add it, what do we have? Let's add. So why are we adding? Because this is my plus y and minus y. So we want to eliminate y first. First of all, solve for x. That's why we are adding. Because knowing that if we add plus y minus y together, it will just eliminate y. So x plus x is 3x. 4 plus what? 3 is what? 7. So the Bible starts by 2. So s equal to what? 3. How many 2 can go in there? 3. 7. 3 times. Remainder what? 1 over 2. Because 2 that can go in 7 is what? Into 3, which will give us 6. So remainder 1, which is 1 over what? This 2. Then how do we get y? Put what? S equal to 7 over 2 in what? In equation 1. So that we can have x plus y equal to 4. So 7 over 2 plus y equal to what? 4. Now let's make y the subject of formula. Therefore, y becomes what? 4 minus what? 7 over 2. So what is the LCM now? LCM is 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Now times 4 is 8 minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. I would have what? 1 over 2. So our answer now for x, comma y is equal to what? 3 over 1 over 2, comma what? 1 over 2. So we are going to look at that is option B as the answer. Now let's move to number 7. Number 7 is talking about number 4 is talking about trig. Very interesting question. Very interesting. Number 4 is talking about trig. Let's look at it quickly. Now it's a given that sine x, is equal to what? 4 over 5. Without using table, find what? 1 plus what? 1 plus tan s squared. Now what we are looking for 1 plus what? Tan square x. Tan x all square. So this is what we are looking for. Now what do? We are going to have what? Let's see. This is the angle x. Now this is opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse. So what do we do now? We use this particular sine x. Let's use our triangular analysis. This is opposite, this hypotenuse. Now using Pythagoras theorem, you already know that this is equal to what? 3. How? 5 square is equal to 4 square plus, let's say this is p, plus p square. And that will give us 25 equal to what? 16 plus p square. So this one will give us what? Bring this one here, we're going to have 25 minus 16 equal to p square. And that will give us what? 9 equal to p square. So therefore p is equal to square root of 9, which is what? 3. It is plus or minus 3, but we consider the positive. Because we are talking about triangle here. Now in this case now, we have gotten what? 3 as the answer. Now what you are going to do simply is to what? Find your tan. You know tan x is actually what? Because we use what they call SOHCAHTOA as a kind of code to remember. Toa means what? Opposite over what? Over what? Adjacent. That's what it means. Opposite over adjacent. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. Sine is what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So what I want to have now is what? You put it there. So what I want to have? Opposite is 4 over adjacent is what? 3. So I would have tan x is equal to what? 4 over 3. So I would have 1 plus tan x all square. That's what it's for me. That's what we are evaluating. Now the 1 plus what? 4 over 3 all was square. And that will give us 1 plus 16 over 9. And if you do your analysis, do your addition where using butterfly method, this times this is what? 9. This times this is what? 9 plus 1 times 16 is what? 16. So our answer is what? 25 over 9. We have option A says what? 1 over 5. 1 over 5. B says what? 25 over 9. C says what? 4 over 3. D says what? 9 over 25. C, 9 over 25. And D says minus 25 over 9. So the answer to that question is B, 25 over 9. Now, let's move to the next one. Next one is another interesting question. Very interesting question. Interesting question. When I say interesting, I mean very interesting. Very, very interesting. And this one has to do with subject of formula. That should be SS2 topic. They say what? Or grade 2 topic. Rather, make R the subject of formula from V equals to what? 4 over 3 pi R what? Q. Now, in the comment section, I want you to type something for me so that you let me know whether you are following up or not. Can you please tell me the volume for this particular one? This 4 over 3 pi R cube belongs to which volume of a which shape? Volume of a, and it's not, it does not belong to any volume of any shape. See type it in the comment section. If it does not belong to the volume of any shape, type it in the comment that this particular formula is wrong for volume of any shape. Maybe it's for volume of a cube, volume of a cylinder, volume, tell me in the comment section. Now, the next thing that we want to make what they say what? Make R the subject of formula. V equal to 4 over 3 pi R what? Cube. A says 4 over 3 pi. B, cube root of 3V over 4 pi. C says what? Cube root of what? C says what? Square root. No, cube root rather of what? R raised to power minus 3 over 3V. D, cube root of square root of R raised to power minus 3 over 2 pi. D says what? 3 pi over 4V. Now, we want to make R the subject of formula. Now, what I want to do is simple and very easy. We want to make this one a subject of formula. So what I want to do is what? V equal to 4 over 3 pi R cube. Cross multiply. So I want to have what? 3V equal to what? 4 pi R cube. So what I want to do is to divide both sides by 4 pi. This I will cancel this one. So I will have 3V over 4 pi is equal to R raised by 3. How do we remove this cube here? Is to take cube root of both sides. Cube root, cube root, cube root. So that means if you take cube root of both sides, this one will cancel this one. Cube root is like taking what? Multiplying by power of 1 over 3. If you multiply R raised by 3 times power of 1 over 3, it will cancel out. Now it will not remain R. So that is, so cube root of what? 3V over 4 pi. So that should be option B. Option B. Option C says square root of 3 R raised by minus 3 over 3V. Does not even relate. C says what? R raised by minus 3, square root of R raised by minus 3 over 2 pi. D does not even follow. So that the answer to that question is what? Option B. Let's go to number 6 quickly. No time. Number 6. Number 6 question. It said what? If square root, this is under solved anyway, minus R root 2 is equal to 1 over root 2. What is the value of R? It's as simple as that. They said A 2, B 3 over 4, C minus 2, 1 over 2, D 1 over what? 2. So what I want to do now is simply, now let us first of all what, bring this one here first. But I'm going to have root 2 minus what? Let's bring this one in. 1 minus 1 over 2 is plus here. When the plus equals I become minus. This one is what? Become what? Plus on this other side because it's minus here. As you cross the river, which is equal to, then you move to the other side, become plus. Now, having done that, let's find the LCM. What is the LCM of 1 and root 2? That is the question. The answer is what? Root 2. Now, root 2 divided by 1 is what? Is root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is what? Root 2 minus root 2 times root 2 divided by root 2. Root 2 divided by root 2 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1 equal to what? R root 2. Now what we're going to do is what? Let's multiply both sides by 1 over root 2 to make R associate the formula. You understand me? Now please, sorry, let's take it again. Root 2 divided by root 2. Root 2 divided by 1 rather. We're going to have what? Root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Sorry. It's a mistake there. Then root 2 divided by root 2. We are going to have what? 1. Then 1 times this. 1 times 1 is 1. Which is correct. So that is it. It's correct now. So I would have 1 over what? Root 2 equal to what? Because 2 minus 1 is 1. You can follow now. Because what we have done here, if you have root 2 as your LCM, you have to divide this root 2 divided by 1. You have root 2. Before you now use it to multiply the numerator. It's very simple. So now, what we're going to do now next is to make this one stay alone R. How do you do that? Multiply both sides by 1 over root 2 to make it work. Or divide both sides by root 2. Multiply by 1 over root 2. So that this will eliminate this. Yes. So R equals to what? 1 times 1 is 1. Root 2 times root 2 is what? 2. So answer is what? 1 over 2. Option A say what? 2. B say 3 over 2. C says minus 1 over 2. D says what? 1 over 2. So the answer is 1 over 2. Let's minus 1 over 2. Now the next thing is to what? The answer is 1 over 2, which is D. Now let's go to number 7. Number 7 is still talking about indices, which is 27 raised by what? 1 minus x equal to what? 1 over what? 81 raised by what? S minus 2. Option A says what? 1 over 2. Option A, 1 over 3. B says what? 5. C says what? 2 over what? 3. D says is 3. Now, let's solve. 27 is equal to what? 3 raised by what? 3. Open bracket 1 minus s. You have to open the bracket. If not, the 3 will just, some of you will just go and multiply by this 1 and say 3. It's wrong. In mathematical tautology, we have 1 over what? This one will give us what? 3 raised by what? 4. Open bracket s minus 2. Don't forget, 81 is the same thing as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. While 27 is equal to what? 3 times 3 times 3. Which is what? 3 raised by 4 and 3 raised by 3 respectively. So what I want to do now is to what? Let us break it down. This one will be 3 raised by 1 times 3 is what? 3. 3 times what? X is what? 3x is equal to 1 over 3 raised by what? 4. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Put bracket here. Now, we can take this one up. How? It becomes 3 raised by minus what? 4 minus 8. That means introducing minus when you move it to the numerator. See what's what? 3 raised by what? 3x minus 3x. 3 raised by 3x, 3 minus 3x. Now, since the base are now equal, we cannot compare the power. So that will now give us what? 3 minus 3x is equal to minus times 4x because minus 4x. Then plus 8. Plus. So collect like terms. Let this one move here. Let's one move here. So I would have what? Minus 3x plus 4x. Let this one move here. If you move here, become minus 3 plus 8. So what do we have? Minus 3x plus 4x give us what? X. Minus 3 plus 8 give us 5. So we have option A as 1 over 3, B says 5, C says 2 over 3, D says 3. So the answer is B, which is 5. Number 8. Let's go to number 8. Number 8 says what? Find the slope of the tangent to the curve. Slope. Y equal to what? 3x squared plus 4x plus 2 at x equals to 1. A, 9. B, option B is 10. D is 6. Or C, 11. D, 12. Now what I want to do now is simply to find the slope. The slope is equivalent to dy over the x, which is equivalent to m as a symbol. Dy over the x, that means the first derivative of this function. So what we are going to do is to differentiate this one. When we differentiate, 3x squared will give us 6x. We differentiate how? 2 times 3, 6. Then remove 1 on the power. Plus what? This one is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Remove 1 on the power, it becomes 0. Anything raised by 0 is what? 1. So it means 4. If you differentiate 2, is 0. So this one is slope. But they also find the slope at what? S equals to 1. So anywhere we see S, 1. So we are going to have what? 6 into bracket 1 plus what? 4. What do we have? 10 as the answer. So the answer is 10. Number what? 9 says what? That is option A, number 8. 9 says convert 43. No, 43 to number in base 3. 43. We want to convert it to what? In base 5. Okay, in base 5. Sorry. If you are converting 43 in base 5 to base 3, we have to move to what? To base 10 first. Then from base 10, we move to what? Base 3. You cannot move from base 5 to base 3 directly. It will be too ambiguous for us to what? To explain to you. So what I want to do is to what? Move directly from what? Base 5 to base 10. Then to base 10 to what? Base 3. Now what I want to do now is say option A, 211 to base 3. B, 212 base 3. C, 102 base 3. D, 1121 base 3. So what I want to do now is what? 4 times what? 5 plus what? 3 times 5. 4 times 5 times, well then 3 plus 3 times 5. We convert to base 10. You multiply by the base. Then 0, 1, 0, 1. So what I would have now is what? This is what? 20 plus this is 1. Anything raised by 0 is 1. Yeah. 5 raised by 0 is 1. Times 3 is what? 3. That will give us what? 23 in base 10. Then from base 10, we now convert to base 3. How? That means 23 in base 10 to base 3. Now we continue to divide by 3 and write the remainder on the left hand side. So what I would have method? You want to write what? How many 3 can go in 23? Is 7. That is 7 times 3 is what? 21. Remainder 2. 3 again. How many 3 can go in 7? Is 2. Remainder 1. Can 2 divide 3? No. Now write 0. Remainder what? Bring it to here. So you take it from down. So the answer will now be what? 2, 1. You take it down up for your answer. 2, 1, 2 in base 3. So that will be your answer. So this one is what? 43 in base 10. If you convert it, then this one will be 2, 1, 2 in base 3. That will be your answer. So that means option what? B is our answer. Let's take number 10. Number 10 is under probability. Under probability. Now number 10 says what? A bag contains 3 white balls. 3 white balls. White balls. Now contain 3 whites, rather. A bag contains 3 whites, 4 black. 4 black. And 5 red identical balls. 5. So we have 5 red all over identical balls. These are balls now. Correct? Now, the total balls in the bag is what? The total balls in the bag is 12. 12 what? Balls all together, irrespective of their colors. Now, you say what? A ball is what? Choosing at random from the bag. What is the probability that it is a black or red? Black or red? If it is black, you are choosing at random. If it is black, it will be 4 over total. 4 divided by total balls. Or red, it's 5 over total. Sorry, 5 over total. So this one will give us what? Now all means what? This is either what? Black or red. So that will give us what? What is the LCM? Now, if you say 4 over 12 plus, or in probability, sometimes indicate what? Plus. So 5 over 12. In this case, since is what? Is the cases are mutually what? Exclusive, or that means it does not include what? Selecting black does not affect what? Selecting red, because they are not the same color. So that's why if you check, I'll still use 5 over. Assuming I'm selecting 2 black ball, probably without replacement, I will what? To affect, because the picking one red ball or black ball affect the other. So they are dependent. So this one now, or will now be what? What is the answer? 12 is the SCF. 12 divided by 12, 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 12 divided by 12 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So the answer is 9 over 12 or 3 over 4. So we have option A, 1 over 4. B, 1 over 3. C, 9 over 20. D, 3 over 4. So I will stop part 1 here. So probably when we come back, we are going to do part 2. And I believe you enjoyed the class. You enjoyed it. So ensure you go through this question before you enter into the exam, or you are going to enjoy everything you are going to see in that Waec or in that exam. Or God bless you. Have a wonderful day. I remain Engineer. Thank you.